our program. So, can you see the ecosystem here in Lasal? It's beautiful, isn't it? There's a lot of trees, species, and me. So, for today's segment, we will define what is ecosystem. Let's ask some people that will define it. And I will think about who is that person. Let's ask Ate Aira. Let's go! Let us look at this diagram. As we can see in the diagram, there are a lot of components identified, like the plants and trees, organisms, water, land, and air. So, what does this really mean? It means to have an ecosystem, it must compose both the non-living and living components interacting with each other. And living and non-living components can vary based on the type of environment. Here in Lasal, Dasmariñas, we have an environment that is semi-tropical forest. As we can see, there are a lot of trees, but still urbanized by structures built, allowing different vertebrates to make this their habitat. Thanks, Ate Aira. So now, let's look onto some vertebrates that we can see here in our campus. Wow, we can distinguish a lot. Hence, there are only 4 organisms that we will talk about: chicken, frog, bird, and cat. From different phylum, we are going to know more a lot of them from Ate Char. The frog was seen between the location of the CDAA building and the Grand Sea. It was just a sudden encounter that had happened. The frog is identified as Bufo marinus, originated from the parts of Mexico but was introduced to the country to control crop pests. This species is now considered a major threat to native species in many parts of the world. It is a forest-dwelling species in its native country. However, in the Philippines, it is virtually never found in forests, and it is not known to have replaced any native Philippine amphibians. It is a regular prey item of Varanus salvator on Tolima. In their native range, cane toads are common and not considered in need of special conservation efforts. Cane toads are considered one of the world top 100 most widely introduced species. Where they have been introduced, they are considered pests and targets of extermination efforts. For the habitat, a tropical species that prefers forested areas with semi-permanent water nearby. Food habit of cane toads eat on ants, beetles, and earwigs, but has been found with dragonflies, grasshoppers, true bugs, crustaceans, gastropods, plant matter, and even dog and cat food in their stomach. In reproduction of cane toads, male congregate in temporary or permanent still or slow-moving water and call for mates. More than one male may fertilize the eggs of a single female, and a particularly successful males may fertilize the eggs of multiple females in a breeding season. House sparrow. It is stout, stocky sparrow with shorter legs and thicker bill than indigenous American sparrows. Males have white cheeks and a black tube, while females do not have.
The house sparrow is distributed worldwide, excluding the poles. It is native to Eurasia and North Africa. It was introduced into South Africa, South America, Australia, New Zealand, and America. Its introduction into North America occurred in 1851, when a group of 100 birds from England was released in Brooklyn, New York. Habitat of house sparrow. House sparrow can be spotted in areas that have been modified by humans, including farms, residentials, and urban areas. They are absent from uninhabited woodlands, deserts, forests, and grasslands. Reproduction of house sparrow. House sparrows from monogamous pair of each breeding season. Nests are built between February and May. Nests are built from dried vegetation, feathers, string, and paper. Food habits. House sparrows eat various kinds of seed supplemented by some insects.
The next species is the chicken. Gallus gallus can be distinguished from other chickens not only by these white patches, but also by the grayish bit. The red jungle fowl can measure up to 70 centimeters in length. They have a total of 14 tail feathers. Gallus gallus roosters' tails can be almost 28 centimeters in length.
Geographical range of Gallus gallus. Gallus gallus is a native to southern Asia, particularly the jungles of India. Gallus gallus spread all over the world when people domesticated the chicken. Habitat. Gallus gallus lives in thick secondary forest or slush bellucar. In the morning or evening, the bird can be found in an open area by wide earthen tracks or clearing, where the red jungle fowl finds food. Reproduction. The breeding seasons of the red jungle fowl is spring and summer. The chicks will start their lives in the warmth of summer sun. An egg is laid each day for 21 days. Before hatching, the chick will develop inside of the egg. On the first day, the heart and blood vessels of the chick develop and start to work. At the end of the day, the head starts to take shape. By the fourth day, all organs of the future chick are present. On the fifth day, external sex structure develop. By the 13th day, the skeleton begins to calcify using the calcium from the eggshell. From the time when the egg is laid until hatching, the chick feeds on the yolk that surrounds him. The yolk penetrates in the chick body by the umbilicus. On the 21st day, the chick, now fully developed, starts to break through his thin shell. This action can take anywhere from 10 to 20 hours. Behavior. Gallus gallus has a very distinctive social system involving a pecking order, with one dominating all and one submitting to all. There is one pecking order for female and one for male. The physical action of dominance is to raise the tail and head. Submission is shown when a Gallus gallus lowers his tail and head, crouches, and tilts the head to one side. Food habits. Gallus gallus is an herbivore and insectivore. Red jungle fowls eat corn, soybean, worms, grass, and different kinds of grains found on the ground. They cannot detect sweet taste. They can detect salt, but most red jungle fowl do not like it. Conservation status. It is believed that Gallus gallus has disappeared from extreme southeastern Asia and the Philippines. This suggested is supported by an intense scientific collection made in 1860. In the 1960s, studies in northeastern India revealed a population of red jungle fowl exhibiting the eclipse plumage. The purity of the species is in danger because of the region's dense human population, whose domestic chickens could continue to contaminate Gallus gallus genetically.
Felis catus. The cat Felis catus is a small carnivorous mammal. It is the only domesticated species in the family Felidae, and often referred to as the domestic cat to distinguish it from the wild members of the family cat. The cat is either a house cat or a farm cat, which are pets or a feral cat, which ranges freely and avoids human contact. House cats are valued by humans for companionship and for their ability to hunt rodents.
Felis catus. Geographic range. Felis catus can be found on every continent except Antarctica, generally in human-populated areas. Habitat. Domestic cats primarily live in areas of human habitation and are somewhat constrained to developed areas. Most feral populations live in close proximity to current or past human settlements. Behavior of cat. Territorial boundaries are demarcated by adult cats via rubbing or marking with urine. Scent is produced by glands near the ears, neck, and back of the head, and is released by rubbing against an object. When a cat scratches something with its claws to sharpen them, scent is released via pedal glands. Sharpening claws on an object or rubbing against it are forms of gentle marking, whereas spraying is used to establish territorial boundaries. Males tend to make territories more often than females. Food habits. Domestic cats are carnivorous, and a healthy diet consists of about 30 to 35% muscle meat, 30% carbohydrates, and 8 to 10% fats, which promote growth and healthy skin and coat. Feral cats may hunt for rodents or birds. Some domestic cats depend on human-supplied feed. Conservation status of Felis catus. Domestic cats are abundant and overpopulation is a major issue throughout various parts of their global distribution. Large population numbers and their natural predatory instincts has led to the decline of numerous species of small vertebrates, including many species of birds.
A beautiful part in this campus, the lake. It was said to have involved some species within this green water. Fishes, planktons, some benthic organisms, and many more. But as we can notice, the color is very green and can be interpreted firstly that it is very much dirty, at the same time rich in biological components. With this, some cycles can be applied in this lake, and let's talk to Ate GL to know more.
The water cycle, also known as the hydrologic cycle or the hydrological cycle, describes the continuous movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. The mass of water on earth remains fairly constant over time, but the partitioning of the water into the major reservoirs of ice, fresh water, saline water, and atmospheric water is variable depending on the wide range of climatic horizons. The water moves from one reservoir to another, such as from river to ocean, or from the ocean to the atmosphere by the physical processes of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, infiltration, surface runoff, and subsurface flow. In doing so, the water does through different forms: liquid, solid as ice, and vapor. The water cycle involves the exchange of energy, which leads to temperature changes. When water evaporates, it takes up energy from its surroundings and cools the environment. When it condenses, it releases energy and warms the environment. These heat changes influence the climate. The evaporative phase of the cycle purifies water, which then replenishes the land with fresh water. The flow of liquid water and ice transports minerals across the globe. It is also involved in reshaping the geological features of the Earth. Through processes including erosion and sedimentation, the water cycle is also essential for the maintenance of most life and ecosystems on the planet.
The phosphorus cycle is the biogeochemical cycle that describes the movement of phosphorus through the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Unlike many other biogeochemical cycles, the atmosphere does not play a significant role in the movement of phosphorus because phosphorus and phosphorus-based compounds are usually solids at the typical ranges of temperature and pressure found on Earth. So the production of the phosphine gas occurs in only specialized local conditions. Therefore, the phosphorus cycle should be viewed from the whole Earth system and then specifically focused on the cycle in terrestrial and aquatic systems. Humans have caused major changes to the global phosphorus cycle through stripping of phosphorus minerals and use of phosphorus fertilizer and also the shipping of food from the farms to the cities where it is lost as effluent.
The nitrogen cycle is the biogeochemical cycle by which nitrogen is converted into multiple chemical forms as it circulates among the atmosphere, terrestrial, and marine ecosystems. The conversion of nitrogen can be carried out through both biological and physical processes. Important processes in this nitrogen cycle include fixation, ammonification, nitrification, and denitrification. The majority of Earth's atmosphere is composed of 78% of nitrogen and making it the largest source of nitrogen. However, the atmospheric nitrogen has limited availability for biological use, leading to a scarcity of usable nitrogen in many types of ecosystems. Nitrogen availability can affect the rate of key ecosystem processes, including primary production and decomposition. Human activities such as fossil fuel combustion, use of artificial nitrogen fertilizers, and release of nitrogen in wastewater have dramatically altered the global nitrogen cycle.
The sulfur cycle is a collection of processes by which sulfur moves between rocks, waterways, and living systems. Such biogeochemical cycles are important in geology because they affect many minerals. Biochemical cycles are important for life because sulfur is an essential element. Being a constituent of many proteins, cofactors, and sulfur compounds, can be used as oxidants or reductants in microbial respiration. The global sulfur cycle involves the transformation of sulfur species through different oxidation states, which play an important role in both geological and biological processes.
This lake is obviously not clean as it should be. It was seen that there was a drainage or runoff water from the waste of the people in the campus. It can be stinky to think of, but how can we really prevent this? Through what we call RACP. So RACP stands for Resource Efficient and Cleaner Production, in which we could treat this point source of bacteria, nitrogen, and phosphorus-rich runoff by treating the waste and filter it with the use of a device that could lessen the dirt in those runoff that contributes to the severe turbidity of the water in the lake.
Oh, so that's how it works here in this campus. The ecosystem, the organism, may it be vertebrates or not, the cycles and how this can all be sustained with. How this lake can be prevented to be more turbid and maybe a cleaner one. And how all of these organisms, everything interacting with each other to create a balance in this campus.